Which lets me think that this had a lot to do with him trying to regain image.
Yeah.
She's really pretty much flushed his manhood down the toilet with that show of hers. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I don't really think he gives a darn about her feelings. I think he cares a lot about
his
how
reputation.
He's seen.
Yeah. You literally cannot say anything anymore. You know, people are like, well, you know, he was just defending his wife. I'm like, you can sit down too.
Yeah.
You can. Whoever is saying that, sit down as well. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. We got sent a video of the Will Smith situation. Now this is Monday when we record this, so this happened yesterday. So by the time you see this, it's going to be Wednesday. So it's going to be older news, but you know, it's a bigger conversation here. But
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Take my name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? So I can, okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Okay, so now when I first saw this, the first thing I thought was that it was fake because the Oscars has zero. I mean, their ratings are horrible. It's been horrible for quite some time now. So a lot of times these people do these stunts to you know, gain some momentum there.
Yeah.
However, that did not seem to be the case. Like he really hit him. And so I feel like right now Will Smith is having a hard time with his manhood. With this whole red table talk thing happening, they seem to put their relationship out there. It seems like she dominates that relationship in some way.
So he would be submissive.
Yeah, he would be more submissive. Yeah, I guess that would be right. To me, just like she dominates the relationship. Because, you know, when they first, so when Chris Rock made the joke originally, Will laughed.
Yeah.
Because it was, you know, kind of funny. He'd make fun of the G.I. Jane thing, you know. Okay, her hair being bald, you know, G.I. Jane, you guys ever seen that movie? You guys know. And Will thought it was funny. But I think what happened was when he panned over to his wife, she didn't. You could see the obvious disgust on her face. And I don't know what look she gave him directly after that, but whatever it was, or maybe she said something to him, that part didn't get on camera.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she leaned over and maybe said something to him, or maybe he just saw that she was uncomfortable. And then he felt like he had to be, you know, the big bad husband and go up there and do this. I thought that he's going to go up there and just tell him shut up. And I thought it was kind of skit. And then it turned to be something else. But
I think Will Smith and his wife, I think their marriage is such a joke.
Yeah.
At this point.
You think he's frustrated?
No, I mean...
You know, I mean, to the point.
I think that she embarrassed him a lot on that red table talk, and she pulled out, you know, with the entanglement thing. Yeah. And then not too long ago, she did it again.
What did she do recently?
I can't remember.
Is it recently?
It was recently. I think they said I was watching another show that I watched, and they were just like, Will Smith or Jada Pinkett cannot stop, you know, bitchifying her husband. She just can't stop doing that on her show, you know. And I think that they've become such a joke that maybe he doesn't want to be a joke at a place where he's being taken seriously.
Seriously, yeah.
You know, because he's gonna win the Oscar. I think he did, and but I don't even think that it made him mad. I think that his wife is just the leader of that relationship.
I think that he's at a boiling point. That's what it looked like to me. Because even when he got back to his chair, he was cussing at him. Right? Don't leave my wife's name out of your effing mouth, right? So that whole thing happened, and I feel like Will, it just seems like he's trying to seem like manly in some way.
I think he's been a meme since that entanglement.
The crying thing, like
she wasn't crying, but he was.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that he's been such a joke and a meme for the last few years that I mean, he slapped him. He didn't even punch him.
He didn't punch him.
He just slapped, you know, I mean, he kind of slapped him, and then, you know, so it's just like, I think he's just trying to show men that he is still one.
Yeah.
Is this that when Will and Jada first got married, they were promoting their marriage as sort of like a marriage that everybody should aspire to be like. They were on Oprah, and they were giving advice.
Like a perfect couple.
And they were doing interviews in magazines and stuff, and they were on magazines, and they were promoting themselves as like this power couple that everybody should be like. And then all of a sudden, their kids started to act different.
Yeah.
You know, their son is walking around in dresses. Their daughter is shaving her head, and
no, she's cut. We found out that she's
used to cut herself. Yeah. And then this red table talk happened where she brought her husband on there to talk about an entanglement that the guy she was with, August, told another interview.
Right.
So it seems like ever since then, now they're on this red table talk, always talking, trying to find power in their vulnerability all the time. It's just they're just becoming a complete joke. This was stupid.
Yeah.
This wasn't even masculine at all. You know what I mean? It's like he's a comedian. It's not like Ricky Gervais not only roasted all of Hollywood right in front of their face, but he basically called all of them pedophiles.
You guys see the Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais
Golden Globes.
Golden Globes. He's been on there several years. He did. I think last year was the year before was his last year doing it, and he always let loose.
Yeah.
He don't care what he says.
Because he's not friends with Hollywood.
Right.
Like that.
You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. Let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all going to die soon, and there's no sequel. So, look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So, no one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer. And it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and... So... It's already 3 hours long. Right, let's do the first award. The first award.
So the alternate face, not one of them got up. I mean, most of them were very uncomfortable, for sure. But never did anyone come up and slap him. Because he is a comedian, and you have to give comedians their space to make fun of them.
So
you know what I mean?
That's the second part to all of this whole thing. So I feel last week we just talked about that whole Naomi Osaka. Oh, I think I might say her name wrong, but anyways, you guys know the tennis player. Is that people are so soft these days, and everyone is so super offended by everything. And so the second part to this that was interesting to me is that. What's his name? Chris Rock is a professional comedian. This is not new. He's not new on the scene. And I feel like when you're in an atmosphere where it is a comedian doing his job and you're in there and you know that's what he's doing for a living, you have to expect that he's probably going to have some jabs at everyone, really. That's kind of the point of it. If I go to a comedy show and the comedian points me out for some reason, something happens, it points me out, I'm almost expecting when I go to a comedy show something like that would happen. And most people, when they go, they know, especially if you're in the front row, and he was in the front row, you know, that something's gonna happen. So I'm not getting super offended
But
by
D.L.
that.
Hughley was known for
Yeah,
roasting.
he-
He always did his show, and then he has a portion of his show where he makes fun of random people in the
Yeah.
audience. Now everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So, but if you go,
Yeah.
you have to accept that.
So it's like
Because
Jada,
that's part of his,
yeah.
you know, his thing. Also, beyond, and these aren't even professional people taking the hits from DL. These are just regular random people.
Right.
Will's a part of the industry.
Especially
And so is his wife.
Yeah.
So he was on a show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, making fun of people and things. So it, to me, but more than anything, he is also in that business. So is his wife, and they understand how this goes. And I don't think this had anything to do, I think it's had a lot to do with trying to make people take him seriously again.
Right.
And it just backfired. Because both of those two tried too hard to be different and to stand out. Why I didn't really get his point in slapping Chris Rock. I think he just looked more dumb.
I just feel like I didn't. Also, I honestly just going back to Jada. Like I didn't get why she was so super offended by that joke. That was, I think Chris even said that was an easy one. That was like a soft joke. He even said, "Come on, that was a
Now let's keep
that was
real.
a harmless
G.I.
joke."
Jane was about a strong woman.
Yeah.
A strong.
So-
she was about a woman going to the Navy SEALs or something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like she was like it was.
So
You
if
walk around acting like a strong woman,
Yeah.
and then he compares you to one in a joke,
Yeah.
and you can't take that. He could have went. I mean, Chris Rock could have went deeper.
So if you guys don't know, so she's been pretty vocal about her. She has alopecia, and so she had a lot of hair loss, so she went ahead and just shaved her hair, right? Just shaved it off, and so that's been a struggle for her for a while. And she went to Instagram and talked about it and how it was a struggle. But even on Instagram, she kind of jokes about it as well. Like she kind of not in a disrespectful way to alopecia people. You know, people who are deal with that. But she kind of like was like, you know, we have to do this. So, you know, this is what it is. We have to move on. But she was really kind of tongue in cheek about it. And then when someone brings it up, a professional comedian brings it up, all of a sudden it's not funny anymore.
And then there's this other part that I can't stand. Because even with Ricky Gervais, when he was making fun of the people in the audience, now I hate these actors that used to be funny people that act like they have no more sense of Tom Hanks, who at the beginning of Tom Hanks' career, where I was more of a fan of his, was Bachelor Party. He did Bosom Buddies. I mean, he came from comedy. And now he can't
super serious.
Now he's super serious because he's a serious actor. He can't take a joke. You know what I mean? The same thing with Will Smith. This is a guy that was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is DJ's at Jazzy Jeff. He was a clown. And after that, every time you see him on camera, he's acting like a clown.
Yeah.
But he all of a sudden can't be funny or take a joke. I don't get that. Jada Pinkett, who was in movies like Woo.
Yeah.
Where she made fun of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You literally cannot say anything anymore. I mean, if you say any joke, we have been made fun of. We talked about this a long time ago, but we had a subscriber or somebody come on here and make fun of the way that we look like these two Simpson characters. When we saw the characters, we were like,
it's true.
I mean, like, it is so, it's almost like they took
we don't look like them, but the way that they were sitting and the way that we looked
and their hair,
it did look very similar.
I'll find it and put it up, but we laughed at it. This person, I mean, like, we laughed at it. We didn't feel like that was a moment to be like, delete, block, report. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't mad, and we just kind of laughed at it and moved on. You have to be able to laugh at yourself.
And also, even Candace Owens got asked from Mark Lamont Hill when she was interviewing him, how he felt about Dave Chappelle making fun of her.
Yeah, right.
How she felt about Dave Chappelle making fun of her. I can't remember what he said. I think he called her a sellout. He went pretty far with the "you're white," and sellout. And Candace Owens said just the way you should react. Yeah. She said, she's like, she's like, how do you feel about that?
Him
he says like, he's a comedian. He's supposed to be funny. She's like, I don't clap back at comedians because they have a sacred space.
Yeah.
But we need to let them, you know. I think there's a war on comedy anyway. She said, I think there needs to be like a sacred space where we don't mess with comedians, and that's correct. And you know, which lets me think that this had a lot to do with him trying to regain image.
Yeah. That's what I think too.
You know what I mean? And it had nothing to do with really his wife. I mean, his wife is really, you know, she's really pretty much flushed his manhood down the toilet with that show of hers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I don't really think he gives a darn about her feelings. I think he cares a lot about
his
how
reputation,
he's seen.
how he's
I mean,
looked at.
and this was a time when he's supposed to win the Oscar, and I think he did. So it's like I think he wanted to be taken seriously. He wants his standing back.
The interesting
where
thing
he
is,
was interesting to people, and I think that I really think him and his wife have made such a joke of their marriage that their careers have become about this. Like, I mean, what was Chris Rock supposed to do at that point? I mean, you know, I don't want to hear any of these people talk about black on black violence.
You know, and I was telling Kara earlier, like, it amazes me because, you know, back in the day, if people would have seen, like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the roast back in the day where Red Fox and Richard Pryor, Dean Martin,
Dean Martin celebrity roast.
John Riggles. You know, if you see all of those roasts, Sherman Hemsley, I mean, all of them, they're all roasting each other, and it is some off-color jokes. Like, it's bad. Racist jokes.
I mean,
we'll talk about everything.
And it wasn't even a real dinner. That was always the joke.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're gonna get our dinner.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just supposed to look like a dinner. But Dean Martin, when he used to give those roasts, they were, you know, for his friends and you know, whoever was. It was always a man of the year, the hour, and then I think it was a man of the week or a woman of the week, and they always had Lucille Ball. They had you know, the woman Wanda, the lady plays Esther on Sanford and Son, Red Fox himself. You know, everybody, really.
It's really funny.
But
it's really funny.
He always said we never we never tell them to hold back on anything. You just have to go because we're all in comedy.
Yeah.
And there was an episode where what's his name, Sammy Davis got roasted. He was the man of and you know, he was part of the Rat Pack. So he knew Frank Sinatra was there, and they really, not only did they make fun, I mean, Dionne Warwick made fun of his height, and they went in on his race, his
religion,
and you know, at the end, the person that's being roasted gets to say something at the end. And Sammy said, a lot of the things that are said here are jokes, and these are my friends. And if they didn't say what they said, I wouldn't think they were my real friends. I wouldn't think they were my real colleagues.
Right. For her to, like, lose it over that small little nothing joke, it just to me was just dumb. I didn't like her reaction period anyways. She just kind of just rolled her eyes.
Well, she's just like unleashing her beast. Go get them.
Yeah, and I'm curious to know what happened. Like,
but the point is that this is why Red Pill exists.
Yeah.
Exists because, well, look what men are becoming. Overly emotional. I mean, he looked like, even when he was telling him to shut the F up about his wife, he looked like he was about to cry.
Yeah, he looked like
he was about to tear up.
He did.
You know what I mean? And Chris Rock was like, it's just a joke, man.
He said it's just a G.I. Jane joke. It wasn't like,
even a harsh joke.
Right.
It was a joke about a strong woman, like a women's liver.
And she has no hair. And Jada doesn't have any hair. So he was taking a dig at her bald head. You know, he wasn't taking a dig at the whole alopecia community.
Right.
You know, he was just saying, you know, you're an actress and G.I. Jane didn't have any hair. You know, clearly to me, I feel like it was so clear that it's almost embarrassing, her reaction. Because it was too much. But then Will, I'm sure, you know, people are like, well, you know, he was just defending his wife. I'm like, you can sit down too.
Yeah.
You can, whoever is saying that, sit down as well. Because that wasn't a situation where he should have been defending his wife like that. Now, if they were in another time, somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
if they were at a club.
And something happened where someone made fun of his wife or got in her face, or he was wanting to get in between, you know, the situation and protect his wife in a real situation, not entertainment situation, then okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they were at a club and they were having dinner or something and somebody was just roasting his wife, then that would be appropriate to get up and maybe hit the guy or
say,
but
you know,
not at a rehearsed TV show,
right? And not your peer.
You know, it's just, I mean, like, again, watching the Dean Martin roast, Don Rickles stood up and named all the black people up on stage and said, he's like, hey, yeah, it's good to see you. He said, don't steal anything. Everybody laughed, including the black people.
Because you know why?
And you know what?
That's
the
funny.
Black people went up there and roasted all those white people. That's just the way that it was. Men went up there and roasted women.
Women
Lucille
roasted
Ball
men.
went up and roasted all of that. You know what I mean? That is the business. And if you can't laugh at yourself, especially when you are a multi-millionaire, like all of those people in that room are, you can't take a joke, Jada.
Yeah.
Like, she hasn't made fun of lots of people.
Please. It's very
lots
weak.
of people.
It's very
You know
weak.
what I mean? It's just weak. This sort of don't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
rules for thee, but not for me
Yeah.
attitude.
And this is exactly what we were saying just last week. It's so fun, the irony of just talking about people are too soft. This is what we're talking about. Kara said Chris Rock's reaction was more funny.
I mean, Chris
than
Rock was
anything.
funny only because he just thought, wow, well, I mean, Will Smith
slapped
shit out of me. You know what I mean? And I just think Will Smith looks stupid.
I do too.
You know what I mean?
I do
It's
too.
just black people. I mean, I hate to say that about us, but you know what I mean? Come on, people. Come on. Kanye, why would you watch this girl, what was her name? Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Watch this little girl win her award and get up there and steal her moment. Why do that? That's just so rude. It's just like, why?
This doesn't give us points for class.
No.
We're losing points for class here, so I'm just saying, but
so it's just like whatever. It's just like over emotional. Someone was saying that about us anyway. I think it was Candace Owens.
Yeah.
She was telling what's his name? Who's the activist, and he's also a professor.
Cornel West.
Cornel West. She was telling Cornel West why they were having a teeny debate on something. She was like, no, the problem with the black community is we're too emotional.
We are.
We react emotionally
Yeah.
on everything. Still, both of them have high-powered careers, and you can't take a joke.
I know.
You're over emotional, dude. Go to some therapy. Both of you, really. It's embarrassing. He's not a man. He needs to, man up a little bit.
So don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.